The plot begins with the mysterious and gruesome murder of a young woman named Ramya, whose body is found with her skin chemically blackened dumped in a trash bin. The case gains immediate traction when a chilling ad featuring an unrelated woman's photo and a warning is published suggesting a serial killer is at large. This horrific crime draws the attention of Dhruv Guvarak, a senior ADGP from Mumbai who arrives in Chennai unofficially to investigate. Dhruv has a deeply personal connection to the case. His daughter Priya was killed in a similar fashion previously, and he himself was poisoned with the same skin blackening drug while pursuing that killer, leaving a scar on his neck and an unhealed emotional wound. Dhruv, with the assistance of local Inspector Surthi and Constable Kali, takes over the investigation. The first person of interest is Karthik, Ramya's boyfriend, a photographer. Karthik confirms that he was with Ramya on her birthday until late that night. Dhruv learns of a unique dollar chain pendant he gifted her which is missing from the crime scene. A review of CCTV footage near Ramya's house, which is near a metro rail project area with limited cameras, reveals a black customized Honda City with a fake number plate entering her street and a hooded figure jogging away shortly after. The car is never seen leaving the area. A fingerprint found on a nearby dirty vintage Ambassador car which Dhruv notices has a crude drawing of the missing dollar chain on it leads the police to Tamazaivu, a young man who was previously booked for drug smuggling. Tamazaivu, an excellent swimmer, is quickly brought in for interrogation. He exhibits erratic behavior, singing strange hymns and begging for a memory-related medicine which he claims he sourced from Google to forget things. Dhruv realizes Tamazaivu is a man with eidetic memory. He can recall everything he has ever seen in perfect detail. Tamazaivu uses this ability to instantly identify Dhruv's Surthi and Kali and even points out minute details about them like a hidden liquor bottle or an unsent text message. Dhruv suspects Tamazaivu's tablets are used to suppress memories of his crimes. Under duress, Tamazaivu opens up about his past, revealing that he was in a relationship with another girl named Ramya, not the murder victim, who left him to go to the US with her boss when he refused to abandon his younger sister Akila. His former Ramya had ridiculed his humble ambitions, his love for swimming, and his dedication to his mother's dream of him getting a government job, labeling him a loser. He claims the tablets are for the memory of his heartbreak and that he saw the murdered Ramya's chain while drawing in a moment of distraction. He denies any involvement in the murder. To prove his innocence and retrieve the chain memory, Tamazaivu requests to be taken to his swimming pool. In a risky maneuver, he plunges into the water and holds his breath, using the underwater environment to trigger his suppressed memory. He surfaces with a crucial piece of information. He recalls the shadow of the dollar chain in the reflection of an aquarium shop's CCTV camera near the murder site, confirming his earlier movements were for a late-night run, not for murder. Convinced of Tamazaivu's innocence, Dhruv enlists his extraordinary memory to solve the case, revealing the tragedy of his own daughter's murder to gain Aravu's trust. Tamazaivu's memory points to a location in Kavailambakkam, but the face of the killer is obscured by the hoot of an owl in his recollection. The police now start tracking a model named Venila, a possible next victim, as the killer's posts mention her. Venila is also revealed to be working on a biopic and had undergone skin lightening treatment with Dr. Shalini, a cosmetologist, who is soon murdered and found with the killer's signature blackening drug. Dhruv and the team manage to track Venila. They install a button spy camera on her, constantly monitoring her. A twist is revealed. Venila is the killer and her real name is Megha. She had a traumatic past where her former boyfriend Siddiq insulted her dark skin, leading her to kill him and assume a new identity. After learning that Karthik, the photographer, rejected her romantic advances and gifted her chain to Ramya, the victim, she murdered Ramya, believing her fair skin was preferred over Megha's original darker complexion. The same motive drove her to kill Dhruv's daughter Priya, who Siddiq had once favored, and later Dr. Shalini, who mocked her with an advertisement about her skin transformation. Megha's final target is Sana Trivedi, the fairer-skinned replacement for her in the biopic. Dhruv and the team track Megha to a party where she attempts to kill Sana. Dhruv arrives in time, and after a struggle he fatally shoots Megha, ending her vengeful killing spree and bringing a measure of closure to his daughter's case. The film concludes with the grim realization of the killer's motive, a dark spiral into murder fueled by colorism and trauma. Tamazaivu, a swimmer with an unusual ability or affliction who becomes an accidental key witness to a series of gruesome murders. Aravu being questioned by the police about a jump he took into a pool. The police, led by a determined but grieving officer Dhruv, are investigating a murder case and discover that Aravu's prolonged time underwater is related to a strange phenomenon. While under the water, Aravu can see reflections not just of the present but of past events that transpired near water, essentially reliving moments like an astral projection, a talent linked to the Siddhar traditions passed down by his late father. Dhruv, initially skeptical of Aravu's claim of seeing a dollar chain through the water's reflection at a murder scene, is forced to take it seriously when Aravu's subsequent visions provide uncannily accurate details about the killer's car route, tracing it from the initial crime location to a residential area. Dhruv reveals to Aravu that his own daughter Priya was murdered in a similarly brutal manner 2 years prior, her body burned after she was targeted by a drug dealer named Sunil, whom she stood up to. The tragedy fuels Dhruv's obsession with catching the current killer, who shares a similar calculated modus operandi, killing young women, injecting them with a toxic mix of cocaine and melanotan, and burning their bodies. Dhruv is not seeking a medal but justice and a halt to the recurring pattern of violence against innocent girls. Dhruv co-opts Aravu's unique ability, using him as an unconventional detective. Aravu, initially resistant, agrees to help after Dhruv reveals his personal loss. The next stage of the investigation takes Arevio to a specific residential area guided by his vision of the killer's car and a recurring symbol, an owl. A blind man helps locate a house with a specific pair of trees and a cross on the gate where his granddaughter heard an owl hooting last week. The house is found to have been rented out to an elusive North Indian who paid a high advance and moved out suddenly after being threatened by a neighbor for bringing women over. The house painted black inside confirms its use for clandestine activities, a common trait of drug dealers. The investigation intensifies when Arevio's younger sister Aquila suddenly goes missing. A frantic search ensues. A report comes in about another body found matching the killer's pattern, and Dhruv takes Arevio to the scene believing it to be Aquila. The body, disfigured by an acid attack and burned, triggers a breakdown in Arevio, who is only calmed when he notices the victim is wearing heels, something Aquila never does. Aquila soon calls, revealing she was safe having stayed at her college hostel overnight due to the rain and a dead phone battery. The victim is identified as Dr. Shalini, a cosmetology surgeon. A post-mortem reveals the killer has a medical background and the drug used is consistent with previous murders. The killer, in a sickening move, also posts a shocking status update about the murder, further taunting the authorities. Arevio attempts another deep dive in the pool, pushing his limits in a bid to gain a clearer vision, and falls into a coma-like state. While unconscious, his subconscious mind scribbles on a drawing revealing a magazine cover featuring a model named Venela with the caption, "It's a dark truth. Save her." Dhruv realizes Venela is the killer's next target and a crucial link. Venela, an aspiring actress, had undergone skin lightening treatments and a name change for a role, but was rejected when the director decided to cast the producer's daughter instead. The director Rajesh had initially given Venela hope, only to abandon her, mirroring a pattern of manipulation and exploitation. The police trace Venela, who is attending a launch party with director Rajesh. During the party, the photographer Karthik is revealed to have been in a relationship with Venela, a fact he denies to Rajesh, claiming he never saw her in a romantic light, only as a subject. Arevio, having miraculously awoken from his coma and won a swimming competition, is dispatched to Venela's house, but she's not there. Meanwhile, Venela's phone is tracked to Mahabalipuram, where the party is taking place. Dhruv and his team intercept the movements, realizing that the director Rajesh and the photographer Karthik are involved in a larger web of exploitation. The climax builds as the killer's identity and true motive are about to be exposed, connecting the victims, the manipulation, and Arevio's strange visions to a dark reality. The narrative leaves off just as the truth is closing in on the people surrounding Venela, and Arevio, the conduit to the past, is in place to witness the resolution. The story unfolds with the revelation that the photographer Karthik is the serial killer, and the motive is deeply rooted in racism and colorism. Police officer Dhruv and the psychically gifted swimmer Arevio are desperately trying to save the next intended victim, Venela. It is revealed that Venela, originally named Megha, was convinced by Karthik to change her name and undergo an unsuccessful skin lightening treatment for a film role. Karthik's true nature is exposed through Arevio's visions, which replay a conversation where Karthik cruelly rejects a girl, calling her the color of tar, while praising a fairer girl as a golden chariot, revealing his obsession with fair skin. The previous victims, including Dhruv's daughter Priya and Dr. Shalini, are shown to have connections to this theme. Shalini, a cosmetic surgeon who owned a clinic that ran ads featuring Venela, is seen callously demeaning Venela and boasting about trying to turn trash into something beautiful. The injection used in the murders, a mix of cocaine and melanoidin, suggests a familiarity with medical procedures and the toxic obsession with skin color manipulation. Karthik, under the guise of an artist, is a sadist who enjoys the blood and gore of murder. He uses his victims for his work, then discards them when they don't meet his cute ideal of beauty, viewing the act of murder as a macabre art form. The climactic scene unfolds at a party where Karthik is surrounded by his associates, including director Rajesh, who is more concerned with his film than with justice. Karthik attempts to kill Venela at the beach, but Arevio, guided by his psychic connection to the crime, rushes to the location. As Karthik prepares to kill Venela, she expresses her rage and pain, directly referencing his colorism and how it destroyed her. She realizes he only complimented her eyes because they were the only part of me that's white, right? The narrative concludes as the police close in on the killer, who is a man driven by a twisted and destructive societal obsession with skin color. A final news report confirms the drug deal connected to the killer's supply was foiled by Dhruv and praises Arevio for his unique assistance, solidifying the swimmer's role as an unlikely but essential psychic detective. The film ends with a stark message that as long as racism, caste, and colorism exist, such tragedies will continue. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.